Hi everyone, welcome back to this series on effective communication. My first video I talked about the importance of effective communication and the 5 C's that help you effectively communicate. The first C of communication, confidence. You need to establish confidence with your audience, and in order to establish confidence you need to read a lot, you need to prepare, and you need to practice. The second C of communication is your content that you present to in any form of your communication to wherever you talk needs to have a good structure and you need to have depth. Today we are going to talk about the third C of communication, and the third C of communication is communication finesse, or your grip on communication. So whenever you speak, communication works for people who work at it. For communication to work, we need to ensure that we have the audience attention. They need to feel like listening to you. Your talking should sound like a well-rehearsed song. The tone needs to be appropriate. It needs to be captivating. Your grip on the language will also help you create an impact. People over time will not remember the words that you have said, but they'll definitely remember the energy that you created, how you made them feel, and if they get gripped by you, that will linger in their minds for a longer period of time. So, what is communication finesse? There are 8 levers to effective communication, and these 8 levers are volume, speed, modulation, pause punctuation, pronunciation, vocabulary, eye contact, and body language. I try and talk about these 8 things have got a tremendous interplay in terms of how effectively you communicate. Let's look at each one of them very quickly. Volume. Many a times there are people who, if you are one-on-one, it's okay sometimes to be soft and manage it in a way. But when you are making a sales pitch, or you're giving an interview, or you're talking public speaking, you need to throw good volume. There are many people who will talk very soft, they mumble in their mouth, people will not be able to listen. If your volumes go down, people are not going to, it feels lack of energy and people will not listen to you. So there is some exercises that you can do and practice so that you throw a lot more volume when you speak. After volume comes in your speed. Speed is, there are some people who talk very slow, there are some people who talk very fast. I have a tendency of talking fast, but there are times where I can deliberately drop my speed. It creates an impact. The number of words that I speak in per minute can be dropped down. Do you have this lever in your hand? There are some times where it is important to drop this. There is some times that you need to be very fast and throw in a lot more words, and that creates an impact. So this variation between lesser words per minute and higher words per minute, this interplay is something that you need to very, very consciously manage. So speed is the second dimension in communication finesse. That's something that you need to practice and control over a period of time. The third is modulation. So I just use the word third, or somewhere putting an emphasis on something. While you're selling a product, dropping your tone and putting emphasis on a particular words is a play with modulation. Your modulation also comes in a way that sometimes you try and make whatever structure that you give to your talk, all the sentences are 5 words. So it becomes, my name is Sriya, I work for a pharma company, I'm a trainer, I'm doing this. Everything, if it's as bullet points that you would talk on a PowerPoint presentation, people will not be interested. Your ability to create variations and fluctuations in your talk create an impact. So the first was volume, second was speed, third was your ability to modulate, and the fourth is your ability to take these pause and punctuations. Sometimes after you give a talk, your ability to deliberately take a pause a little longer, after asking a question, wait for a while. These things also add to the impact. So your ability to play around with these 4 levers of volume, speed, modulation, and pause and punctuation is one critical dimension of communication finesse. The more you practice, the more you listen to a lot of good orators, slowly and steadily you will be able to build your command over this. So there was one question that I had asked my boss, that by just reading, will I be able to get a grip on my communication? And he said, you should watch a newsreader, watch someone speak. And I used to watch the BBC News. and there was a BBC News at 11, and for about 2 or 3 years I kept watching those news. Somewhere my ability to mimic them and get the modulation, voice, pause, punctuations right was something that was an influence. So listen to a lot of good orators, listen to good English news, and your ability to then communicate will improve. The other 4 aspects of communication finesse is your vocabulary. Vocabulary, the amount of words that you know will go up if your reading goes up. If you are listening to a lot of news and reading well, your vocabulary will go up. Sometimes when your vocabulary is not rich, it takes a lot. If you don't know the word synergy, to explain synergy you will have to speak 20 sentences and you will not be able to articulate and you may lose the audience. So your ability to get a grip on vocabulary is something that is very important. Same goes with pronunciation. Sometimes your pronunciations may go wrong, there may be some flavor and then people get distracted and they may laugh. What you're trying to communicate is lost and they will focus on these errors that you do. So you need to build on your pronunciation. Again, how your pronunciation will go up? My advice is watch a good English news regularly, watch good orators speak, and I'm sure you will be able to get a grip over this. Have friends who will be able to correct your pronunciations. I've got many of them who do that for me, and that has helped me in the long term. I keep saying that it's not through the words that we communicate through our eyes. Whenever we are communicating one-on-one, ensure that there is 70, 80, 90%, 70% above eye contact with your person that you're talking to. If you lose your eye contact onto reading a paper or any of the aspects that you cover, you will somewhere or the other miss out on being an effective communicator. The second aspect is your body language. Let your body language flow. This body language, as in the first C of communication I talked about, if you've got the confidence, it will flow through your body movements. If that confidence is there and if you have rehearsed it well, you are practicing a lot and listening to things, you will see that this body language also starts communicating. Trust me, it is not the words that help you communicate. It's more your eyes and the body and this movement in your voice, the tone of your voice, the speed at which you talk, the modulation that you do, the pause and punctuation that you take, your vocabulary, your pronunciations. These are all subtle aspects that really create an impact on communication. So over a period of time, pick up each of these aspects in each of the talk that you do. Today I'm going to focus on modulation, and with everyone try and do modulation, and it will create a better impact. So I've just covered the first 3 C's of communication. First one being confidence, second one being content, and the third one communication finesse, which has got these 8 parameters. I am sure keep these 8 parameters in mind when you're preparing for your talk, and you'll be able to create an impact. Keep watching my videos for the 4th and 5th C of communication, which are to follow. Thank you very much.